Welcome back everybody. So if you're not too motivated to cook, perhaps tonight or this weekend, I've got here for you a easy savory tart. I'm not saying quiche because it is slightly different. The custard is made with eggs and yogurt, which is not the standard cream, okay? And we're not using a short crust, but a pre-rolled, pre-made puff pastry to make things super fast and easy. 2 types of ham for the filling, cured and standard, plus gorgonzola. So the name would be a duo of ham with gorgonzola tarts. What are we waiting for? Let's go. Now let me tell you, when you make a savory tart or quiche, if you use this pre-roll, puff pastry or short crust, it makes things so easy. So if you're looking for something fast, this is it. And I'm gonna demonstrate that here. Like, we're gonna make this thing in mere minutes, okay? So are you ready? We've got the tart pan, okay? I'm gonna give you the ingredients for a larger size, but 4 eggs, we've got the yogurt, gorgonzola, 2 types of ham, and we've got salt and pepper, and a little bit of cream to add, okay? Let's go. Anytime that you cook, it's good to divide things into steps. The first is always the mise en place, it's preparing the ingredients. So I've sliced everything into tiny cubes, all the ham, the gorgonzola, and I've measured everything. I've got my eggs. Make sure you get your tart pan that you want to use, your quiche pan. The recipe I'm going to give you is for a large one that's just 20 centimeters, and I've got my pastry ready in the fridge. So mise en place number 1 is done. Let's go and do the pastry. Pastry, super easy. It's a rectangle, and I've got again a round tart pan. And this is really something I'm going at war against, because if I had a rectangle one, I could use everything. Here, I'm going to have lots of offcuts. So when you want to detail, take always a large extra gap on either side, okay, to make sure it's going to fit in your pan. What I do, very easy, I'm taking a bowl like this, very large, and I'm going to cut around to have a nice circle. Perfect, so here we are, I've done my circle, I've placed it into my mold, and you see the edges goes on the side, and then you can take a rolling pin and do that, the simple thing of adjusting and cutting everything off that we're gonna detach. Step number 2 is finished. Mise en place is done, the pastry is done and ready. I'm gonna preheat my oven at 180 degrees Celsius, okay, and I'm gonna put this in the fridge while we make the filling, aka the custard. And now for the custard. This is always the same, usually it's eggs, or just egg yolks and eggs mixed with cream. Here a bit lighter, we're gonna use yogurt instead. So I've got my 4 eggs. First I'm gonna kind of break them into an omelette, and I'm gonna fold by adding all of the yogurt. And this is standard style for the Greek yogurt style of thing, plus 2 tablespoons of cream. Okay, and I'm gonna mix the whole lot together. Wow, it looked a bit odd at first. It was like almost curdled, but now when you warm it up a little bit by whisking, it's nice and liquid. I don't use yogurt very often. After that, seasoning. So a good amount of salt and pepper, and you need to taste your preparation all the time. So you mix everything, okay? And then you take a spoon and you taste. You're gonna see if there's enough salt in there. Otherwise it's gonna be really bland. And that's it, done. And now to finish the assembly, a lot of people mix the ingredients in the custard, but I kind of prefer to go by hand and sprinkle everything myself, so I can see exactly the distribution. So it's up to you. And you start with the ham, and then we'll put the gorgonzola. Now the gorgonzola is always this thing, it's so strong. I like blue cheese, but sometimes it can be very, very strong. So I'm just gonna go very easy, and I would recommend you do the same, because if you put too much of that stuff, it really is gonna become almost unpleasant, like a really, really strong blue cheese taste. So I tend to just sparkle it a little bit, because that's very salty and it's got a lot of taste. So don't overdo the gorgonzola. Now I have put my trust into these French cooking recipes, especially this one with the yogurt. I just hope it is not gonna do anything funny, but we'll see. So we're gonna gently add all of the custard in. And we are done. So this is gonna go straight into the oven. We're gonna cook this for around 30 minutes. I did not blind bake anything, because first off, it is puff pastry. So what you need to do is to place this onto the lower rack on your oven, so that the heat hits the bottom of the dough here. So we're gonna have a crispy bake and not something soggy. So I'll put this in the oven, and as always, we'll share the result together. This is just out of the oven, and it's transformed into some kind of pizza tower that's totally inflated, because of course the puff pastry, it's kind of compressed everything and it went up. So Ooh, it's nice and fluffy, so far not bad at all. So we're gonna leave this to rest. Always never attempt to cut or eat anything like a quiche thing just out of the oven. It needs to rest until it is kind of lukewarm, and this is what I'm gonna wait. It's gonna deflate, and then we're gonna cut it open. So now, let's try to cut something open. And for once, I'm trying not to have my hand on the screen, so you know, I'm gonna up. I'll try to a big slice. It is a bit soft, and it looks inside. It's not too bad, it's not too bad. Let's zoom in on the slice only to see how it looks like. So let's examine this in closer detail. So as you can see, the distribution of ingredient is not too bad. But you see the blue cheese, you have to be careful because as I said, you can see this mark of blue cheese. So it is quite blue cheesy and it smells already like blue cheese. So be very careful with the gorgonzola. If I try to cut a piece here, you see the dough is cooked, but still it's had a bit of a hard time there to cook. See, a bit golden, you see, so it's cooked, but it's not soggy, that's for sure. Okay, let's try it out. Gorgonzola just enough. It holds very well, and actually, it's not eggy. I thought it was going to be super eggy, but it's not eggy at all. And the oh, okay, it's right. Okay, so the cured ham, you can really fit it. It's a nice salty flavor. It goes well with the gorgonzola. See? Now you know what? I'm surprised. First time I've used yogurt, but it works really well. And look at this, how fast was it to make that brilliant little recipe. The custard with yogurt works well, it holds, it tastes great, it is balanced, and it is nice and fluffy with the puff pastry. So if you're lazy, make this one, try it out. As always, if you have any question regarding the recipe, use the comment section. Pictures, go on Instagram, hashtag French Cooking Academy. And thanks a lot for all the new patrons that have been supporting us on the channels. We always need support, so if you want to join us, culinary schools, patrons, so that we can keep on making lots of French recipe, okay? So I see you all next week for another one. Take care all, bye-bye.